Lady B, what time is it over there?
Over here, 6 p.m. Oh, you talking to me?
No.
Oh.
I'm talking to B. That's a delay on this though. And I think they can't hear me until it takes like a minute or two before they can actually see everything. There we go. What's up, Valerie? Lady B, you stayed up late because I know if it's 9 o'clock here, it's what, 2 in the morning over there? What's up, Alicia? Mary Beth? Will, what's up, Will? No bite. All right. Naren, Rhonda, Katrina. Oh boy, beautiful one, Roderick. Feminizer Slayer. What's good? What's happening? What's up, friend? Miss Jones, Lady Dreadhead, Marcus, Danya. What is that? Tyra, Mia. Is your main supply. There you go. There you go. What's up, Chris? Lois. That's my mom's name.
Someone go through the lady.
What's up, Kim? What's going on, everybody? Yeah, I got something for y'all tonight. Yeah, y'all ready for all this up in here? Y'all ready? How y'all like my music? How y'all like my music? Y'all know I'm an old head, so we're gonna do it old head style. Using the kids, trauma bonding. Andrew, that's what they gonna do, champ. That's what they do. Yanni Body TV, what's going on? Miss Detroit, what's going on? What's up, Marcus and Ebony Baby? What? So you've been waiting for the live. Here we go. What's up, Curious One and Ellie B? Yolanda. Hey, y'all, listen here. Tonight, Lady B, I asked you, what time is it over there? Because you're staying up like extra late to hang out. So I wanted to show you a little extra love. You know what I'm saying? I know how that is. 2 in the morning. There must be some incredible energy you feeling all the way through this vibe right there. There you go. 2 in the morning. What's up, Phyllis? All right, y'all. I got my friend Reece on here. She's from the West Coast. Now, I am not great at this part. Listen, y'all. Reece, I did a podcast with her. She has a podcast. I want you guys to check her podcast out. She is that it right there?
The Anybody.podcast show. That is actually my IG. So I'm expecting everybody on this page.
There you go.
I should get a whole entire bunch of ads while we're having this amazing conversation.
So y'all listen, Reece is a clinical psychologist. All right. So she studied this, you know. So I want y'all to pour it on thick. I want y'all to ask everything y'all want to know from an official, because, you know, I'm just going to give it to you raw. I'm going to give it to you on your chin. My version is going to be a little different, but I like her version. All right. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let Reece talk to y'all for a second. You dig?
Look, do not tempt me with a good time, okay? Don't tell me. No, but I want to first thank you for allowing me to visit your home. You visited my home on a whole different platform. So thank you so much. And I also want to thank all of you, because I've been on Hario's live before, and just observing all the comments and your sense of transparency. And I want, you guys are amazing people. For you to be able to be vulnerable and survive all these things and be so open, just know your vulnerability is a strength, and it's a muscle for you to flex all the damn time. Okay, so I just wanted to start off and tell you guys are amazing people, and you inspire me, because let me tell you, I am a clinical psychologist, I am a mom, I am a podcaster. However, there's one thing that they don't teach you that much when you're in school, you know, when you're getting your graduate degree, and there's no special course on narcissism. Okay, so just to let you guys all know that when you go to a psychologist, not all of us have these specialties, right? And of course, there's coaches, mindset coaches like Hario, and you have some psychiatrists and psychologists that focus on this. I unfortunately have not. And the reason why I'm on here and I was in and found Hario was because I was affected by a narcissist. I was in a relationship with one for 6 to 8 years. And when you're in that situation, in a romantic relationship, you're lost. You're completely effing lost. Okay. So you don't know, and it happens to the best of us, right? Even psychologists, mental social workers, everything. And
can you expound on, because I talked about that before, and I wasn't saying it to be disrespectful.
Right.
You know, my opinion is just that if you have not dealt with a narcissist, you really are not qualified to teach people real narcissism and dealing with a narcissist. There is no class to teach you that.
Right. And unfortunately, a lot of people that can speak from it can speak from a place because they have been affected by a narcissist. Okay. And that's where you can be like, yo, these are true. Like, mine is a whole bag of trips and then some, because of course I survived my relationship, right? And I moved forward because I was in a lower vibration at that particular time. So I feel that was different, you know? And then I got out of it and I was just like, whew, I just had a relationship with a jerk. Not knowing, as you get educated, you're just like, whoa, what was that really about? And you kind of like stick in your mind, like, that was something else. That wasn't a person that was a liar. That wasn't a person that was a jerk or an asshole, whatever you want to think about, a cheater or whatever. That was something special. And you always think in your mind, there's something wrong, you know? And as you move forward and then you move on with your life. But just to fast forward on my recent experiences, I had a podcast with a different name, right? But my partner ended up being a narcissist, but it was the spooky kind, okay? And it was a very platonic, of course, relationship. It was a friendship. And so I think that's where it was very unique, a very unique situation, and a very unique situation as in a narcissism world, because a lot of people, again, going back into relationships, they think it's based in intimacy only, right?
A little bit of your experience as it pertains to the differences between the romantic narcissist versus the friendship narcissist.
Right.
Give us some of the similarities.
Right.
And some
I think the similarities are there for the love bombing is very similar. The hoovering is similar. Gosh. God. I mean, I think that in context, there's some differences, but then there's some vast differences as well. I mean, there's similarities, but there's some vast differences because in a love relationship, I feel with a male, it was different. It was very, very different, because, and then also when you look back on the actual developmental, the experiences, the trauma, that makes a whole different person. So there's nuances because you're dealing with a different person and they're going to react totally different. However, when you deal with a woman narcissist in a friendship, whole different ball game, because now it's and then we were talking about covert and overt.
Right.
My relationship was very overt. You knew everybody knew he was a jerk, but then he was also nice. There was all, it's like you knew where you were getting when you got there.
Right.
It's just like, oh, this is who he's da, right? But with this particular individual that I knew, she was always very secretive. She said that she was private. They always say, people, they say, oh, I'm so private. And you don't know anything about this person. And you're just like, oh, they're private. You want to give them that. But is it a different private though? And then as time went on, it was your secret. You're keeping secrets. That's what it was.
Yes.
With her, there was a lot of gaps in our relationships because we would connect and then we wouldn't connect. And I didn't understand why we didn't connect. And in hindsight of what occurred in us working on a podcast together, I realized, no, that wasn't a communication issue. It was an alignment issue because and you feel when you're with someone, regardless if you're a business relationship, a romantic relationship, or a friendship, there is you feel good about it. It moves. There's chemistry, but then there's things with this person because you're dealing with the spirit, right?
Right.
There's something off. And with her, she was a lot of love bombing, a lot of promises to come through on projects. Okay, keep in mind, this person survived a 10-year relationship with me, and she would always use that. And then when you look back, there was no 10 years. It was pretty much 90 days when we worked on the project because those 10 years was very spotty. She would disappear and come back. The disappearing and coming back is supplies. You're jumping around. You're jumping around with your supplies, right? Right? Because if I wasn't giving her what she needed, she would jump around, but I didn't know who she was. So there was no conversation, right? With her we started off, I reached out to her, let's do this project. I'm trying to give you guys a Reader's Digest, but you'll get the point. Worked on the project and I was doing a lot of the work. And from my skill set level and me being very hands-on on everything that I do wasn't really an issue. But she was going to do the social media aspect of it. Never saw it really kind of pan through, which is a lot of them will tell you, inflate their abilities and not freaking come through at all. And you kind of just like, okay.
You lot of future faking.
You future fake it, and you're just like, okay, then you kind of like think there's something there and there's all these promises still coming in and they'll do a little bit just to keep you, right? It moved forward into weird conversations that from, hey, we need to get you on some audio because it's just me, and her saying, it's okay, you represent us. And then a week later, I'm getting a nasty text message. There's not that much audio on me. And do I need to count? Very rude and very just off, like, what just happened? Like, and it's very textbook. You're just like, you're trying to start a fight.
So she just started out there.
I just spoke to you last week. So now I'm taking notes because I'm who I am, right? And I'm like, okay, this is strange. And just knowing and just growing and just being a different person in our relationship, I still didn't give her what she wanted. Just me not knowing and putting two together that this person has a personality disorder. And it just went from just throwing me under the bus during our interviews and laughing and then laughing about it. And then me not knowing what I'm doing when I'm trying to correct the person, I was constantly doing injuries and making the matter worse for myself, supposedly, because I would address those things and not knowing who this like, I understand, Hario, why there is a movie called It. Because at a certain point, this individual, I couldn't call her a woman or anything like that. It was, they become an it, because you're just like, who they become something. You're just like, who are you? And you can't get rid of them, no matter what rational thinking.
Right. I mean, when you look at, I think on all of my videos, that's what I refer to them as it, or the thing, because you can't really put them on the same level as, the way we speak about a human being,
right?
Because there's so much. It's like you can see so much evil, and it's so diabolical.
Right.
And I'm glad that you touched on this, because, excuse me, the guys in the room, there are a lot of men in the room. And we are generally, a man is going to be overt. We're going to be just, hey, I'm out in the open. It's just what it is. Just what we get. With women, a woman is going to be covert and much more sneaky. And oh my goodness. Yeah. And fellas, she's talking about the female. Ladies, you too, because a lot of ladies, when I talk about it, a lot of women, which is a beautiful thing, can't really conceive a woman being this way.
Right.
It's hard to conceive that women are out here acting like that. And it's done so differently with the woman. And see, you had the opportunity to see what it's like dealing with one romantically, and then dealing with one
in a friendship, platonic. Yeah, because we should answer this question by Lady B. Let's take a break. Lady B, London, UK.
There you go.
When will a narcissist leave you alone? They will never leave you alone. You are just a person. You're unfortunately, you're a person on the bench. You're part of the team. You're a part of the team. You will never get rid of this person. They will always hoover you. I mean, the only thing that I suggest for you is to seek some type of therapy or coaching, or stay in these environments like this to help you move forward in life, because a majority of it is a mental game, because you mentally could stay in that space, right? Or you can move on and do the things to take care of yourself and get healthy and move on in your life. But technically, you always be a part of who they are, because you're a supply. You're an inanimate objects to these individuals, so unfortunately.
Yeah. You know what? That's how everybody kind of explains it. Like, you're kind of like a TV show. Narcissists, hey, they'll turn you on today. Today is your turn.
Right.
Until, maybe 5 o'clock when their other show is on. And then they got to go to the other show. They might like your show, but they're going to get that other show some attention as well. And they may come back to you later. But we're just and innate object to them, and we're not going to get from them what we're giving them.
Right.
We're looking for that same exact kind of feeling, that love back. We're looking for that warmth, that security. And with a narc, you never get that. You're gonna get a bunch of hate and a bunch of things you don't understand. My biggest thing was, I think for me, the biggest obstacle is just, when you're trying to get beyond this, you're trying to understand, you're trying to get closure and trying to have understanding as to why is this not coming back?
Right.
I'm putting all of this my best out there, and I'm getting beat up out here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a really hard thing for most people to understand and to be able to get past. And when I look at, like, for most of the comments, the biggest thing that I have seen, the thing that affects us the most is the current supply. Everyone believes that new supply got it going on, and they just are living the life. And we all believe that the narcissist changed.
Mm-hmm.
The moment that we broke up, everybody believes that your ex turned into this incredible person without flaws. They're treating this new person just magnificently, and they're sprinkling gold chips on top of them, and they're laying down in a $10 trillion bed of money on an island, feeding each other fruit. And we just really don't see that it is nothing like what we believe.
Right.
No, I mean, nothing.
That's what those beautiful pictures are for, is to portray something that's not reality, and we all know better. We don't know but if anything, you want to feel bad for the next person, because if you have not given them what they wanted, the next person will get it even worse, because they're such emotional beings and they make decisions based on emotions. They're never rational. Their bandwidth is just like this. And it's not to insult anyone's intelligence, but let's go there. These people think that they can outwit you. They think that they're the most clever, intelligent. They're cunning. However, they're not the most intelligent, because, again, they make decisions based on the moment. That is the reason why it's very, very important. Again, number one, to be there's a self-awareness piece for all of us. I think we need to take some accountability. I'm not saying that we are responsible for other people. We are not. But there's this awareness piece of who we're around, who we are surrounded with. Are these people aligned with us? That's number one when we're around people. And in the beginning, because in hindsight, with this person 10 years ago, there were so many red flags there for me. But because she was a woman, and because she was fun at times, all these things that kept her, even though I was annoyed with her, that kept her, and I was away. I lived how many miles away? I was busy with my own family and a relationship with a narcissist. So that kept me really busy. I could not really see what this was about, and and I honestly, for my situation, I can't compare to anybody else, because a lot of people has been affected, especially on this site. I'm looking at this, everyone's comments, and my heart breaks for them. But with me, it took me 90 days to figure this out, right? But I think that was the best 90 days, because it shows where I was, not at an intelligence level, but it was my awareness factor of what was going on, and me really keeping count, like, let me register this. There's something off,
Right.
I think that we're in this moment and we think that we're trying to get our angel wings and we don't want to cut off people.
Right.
You don't owe anybody. There's how many 7 billion people I think on this earth. You can get some real good friends out there. They're out there.
For the people in the back. Say that for the people in the back.
Okay? There's a whole bunch of people you can have a relationship with, will match your love and all these things. We do not need to be stagnant in relationships and trying to wait for people to get better. Or if you think there's something off or there's a red flag, if you're feeling a red flag, you need to walk away. Whatever.
Each and every time. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that?
Cut them off.
Hey, look, Yanni Body TV show says, do they really get worse with age? Yanni, not only do they get worse, the people that they deal with after you, they're going to get it. We're always thinking that they're treating, but they're taking these pictures and they're smiling and they look like they're having fun. They look like they're in love with this person the same way they look like when they were with you. But what you're not looking at is that narcissist, they were able to abuse you. And they learned from that. They took that abuse, they're taking that abuse to the next person. They're going to try it out with them. They want to see, the goal of the narcissist is to see if they can totally destroy somebody. It's not just, can I get over a little bit of, this and that on you? No, it's they want to totally destroy you.
We sure do. We should do. Do they really? Yes. I mean, just to go fast forward on the podcast, because I know people are like, oh, there's little things. This individual, we had speaking to her about parting ways. We reached our 90 days. That's pretty much what I told her, because we started during the pandemic. We had our very last podcast, and she was very, very aware of that. It was actually about alignment and manifesting, which is the most positive podcast that you have. 2 hours later, this person deleted the Instagram page. And acted like she didn't. And when I asked her, she just was like, oh, I'm at the, eating dinner, and let me look at that later. Just really blasé about it. And I kept it cool because, I was born on Sunday, but not this, not that Sunday. And I was just like, okay, in the middle, on the other side, changing other passwords to all the content. And in the midst of me trying to figure out what was going on with the podcast, why I could not enter in the Instagram page that we had, she's asking me, hey, are you still interested in a dog? And I'm like, really? Interested in a dog at this current moment of time when the podcast, no, girl, bye.
How long after that was that?
After the podcast, we had a podcast. An hour later, she deletes it. Because I don't know, I must have said something that really bothered her, or it was festered, or keep in mind, these people walk around. They can't control themselves for causing drama. It's part of the problem, part of the issue. And she could not find anything else on this earth to hurt me, because again, I was very separate away from her, didn't really share anything with her. And then I'm a very open person, so you really don't got shit on me, right? You can't expose anything on me, right? So the only thing she could do, because again, I worked very hard on the podcast, got all the guests, did all the editing. What do? You delete what you think is going to hurt me the most.
There you go. And you know what? That kind of goes along with what God knows as, she's like, how can I stop the stalking? Said I tried everything, nonstop stalking for 3.6 years, breaking into the home, cars, and stealing. Everybody, I want y'all to listen.
Wow.
They don't stop. They don't leave you alone. This isn't something that just goes away. They're not going to leave you alone. They don't have a life after that. That's why I even talked about it on a different video about how the narc is always they're just gonna stay in a continuous loop because they're gonna circle back to you, just like they're circling back to other people before you and before them. The people after you, they're gonna keep on circling and circling and circling because that's just who they are. They can't, we have this impression that, that either she's cute or he's handsome and they can just go out here and have their way with other people. And it's not set up that way for them. We think that because we are smitten by them. The rest of the world looks at them as, okay, yeah, you're nice looking, but if you think I'm about to put up with your craziness, then you're wrong. And the rest of the world is not going to deal with it.
How can I stop? The best thing for her, for God knows, hopefully you get the police involved. I'm hoping that, because I know a lot of people are ashamed of this, and based off of being ashamed, they hold themselves back of moving forward in any type of legal situations that will be able to protect them. Hopefully you have, because if someone is trying to break into your home for 3.6 years and stealing your car, we got to change that. We got to move forward and we got to go to the authorities and let them know what is going on. Just plain and simple, and start from there and start getting restraining orders. You've got to be aggressive with this.
Yeah, that's one of the flaws that I think we as empaths have, and that is we just want them to stop. We don't necessarily want to get them in trouble. We don't want to take them through all of this legal jargon. We just want the craziness to stop. But the thing is that they won't stop. They won't. They're not going to give you a break. They're not going to just, because you went to court and the judge said, okay, either leave this person alone or I'm going to put you in jail. No, that's not a stopper for them. Oh yeah. Also that getting older. Oh yeah. That's just one of those things that they're always going to deal with. And also you guys, okay. So like earlier today, I did a video and I talked about the hoover, and, one thing that all of us know, because at some point, everybody has dealt with the hoover. And if you have not, just thank your lucky stars that they have not. You should not want them to come back. But usually when a narc comes back, when they come back for you to hoover, they're coming back because they see you're vulnerable somewhere. They see a gap in the program and they're like, okay, I can get you through that. They might see that you had a bad relationship or a breakup or something like that. And you're like, hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and jump in here now because you're open for it. But on the flip side of that, when they don't hoover you, that's a sign that you're getting better. That's a sign that you're not just that easy to run back into. And, don't take it as they just don't want me and blah, blah, blah. Because something that I learned is that with a narc, you really have to be in a place to accept them back when they hover. Because if you don't, all of the effort that they have to put into, whether they got to beg and plead or they got to give you something that they weren't giving you before to make you believe that they are sincere. And that's a lot of work to a narcissist. So if they go in there and put all that work in and you still say, no, I'm still not dealing with your craziness. They just did all of that for nothing. That's a big injury. And if they're used to you already saying no, then, it's like they can't just keep getting over that. So a lot of times when they're not coming back for you, they're not coming back because they already know the answer. They already know, nah, they're not in a place where, I can just give her a call and, hey, baby, what's going on? How you doing? How you been? Blah, blah, blah. They know that you're not just sitting there waiting on that phone to ring.
Their confidence is through your weaknesses. That's
Right.
how they get their confidence, because we're dealing with people that do not have a good sense of self anyway. I don't know if that's a narcissist injury. If you're aware that they don't like themselves. They lack confidence. It's fake. That confidence they get from you. They don't have that confidence. So when you open that little space for them to hover, that's where they breathe. That's the air that's the confidence that you give them. But if you're sitting there like, no, I'm done. Or if you don't even comment to them, that shuts them down. That shuts them down so quick. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how much power we give them when they don't have power at all.
But you know what? I think that a lot of times, we are so infatuated with the narc that we literally will just say, you know what? I don't really want the upper hand. I don't want to just mush their face in it, but for some reason, when we don't do that, they always mush our faces in it.
Right.
It's like they're doing a double reverse, like, okay, yeah, I know you got a soft spot for me, and I'm going to keep on and continue abusing you until you man up or woman up.
Feminazi, not Feminazi Slayer. Yeah, she asked, "Do you think you'll get hoovered by this ex?" I was hoovered by my ex, even though the overt one. I was. Let me tell you what this mofo did. He was grasping everything that he did to get in touch with me or just to keep in contact. It got down to the bare minimum. Let me tell you what the bare minimum was. It was the CVS card.
Whoa.
It was the CVS card, y'all. And we have a running joke amongst my friends. I would look in my email, and if you guys have CVS wherever you're at, they do the email. They ask you, do you want your receipt sent to your email? You tell them your phone number. Whose number did he give? My phone number. We're living 2 hours away from each other. I'm getting emails from a whole different county, 3-4 counties away. And I'm like, this is strange. And it was happening for years. And I let it go. And then until one day I was like, I'm not playing this. Like, I'm not humoring this individual. Why am I getting these emails? And I sent him an email and said, yo, look, we have broken up for 5 years. Okay. And he wanted, I gave him what he wanted, though. It was the contact, because one day in 5 years, she was going to get sick of it. And I lasted for 5 years, and I said, hey, just, knock, knock. I was really nice. But this is a great way to address somebody too. We have moved on from each other. You're in a different relationship, and I'm also in a different relationship. You should stop using my phone number in my CVS card, because I know that you can get your own. So we will stop this and sever everything at this point, because this is inappropriate. You can do better. I wish you the best. Bye. And he had told me, look, it was force of habit. Okay, force of habit. Okay, like, we have not been together. And I'm not the ex, and I'm not the ex that will jump in and jump out. We were broken up. We were like done. So they try, some of them, like I said, you have the overt ones, and they have different levels of narcissism. He was just happened to be the CVS card. And with my friend that we did the podcast, she started stalking me, and it was the most obscene stalking that you can ever get from. Go ahead.
What was the difference in the stalking? What was she doing?
It was the most. First of all, the most latest one that I got was, and after that, I started getting phone calls, right, of numbers that I wasn't familiar with. So automatically, I don't pick up phone calls that don't have a number, a name associated with that I saved. So just that's off the bat. Number two, I got a weird text message from a person that was calling me saying, Reece, this is Rafi, your cousin. You want to play Roblox? And then that person started FaceTiming me. And number one, Roblox is for kids. I had mentioned that because my son plays it. Mm-hmm. And number two, I don't have a cousin named Rafi. And outside of my circle, no one calls me Reece unless I allow that environment to call, such as this, call me Reece. So I told my kids about it, and my daughter, I have my daughter's 24, and she's like, that is the most obscene thing I've ever, she goes, and we were thinking, what would have happened if I had answered that FaceTime, right? So let me give you an example. They spend money out of their pocket to do the most obscene things if they can. Could you imagine if I opened that FaceTime? What was on the other side of that? Or if I responded to that text message? I mean, we're technically technology. Let's not dismiss technology, you guys. That the minute you click into something or something, this person also I gave her access to my Gmail to schedule podcast interviews. She never did because of course, she was lazy as, she never did. But she did after. And it was said at an appointment with Emma on the same day that we would interview and record on Sundays. And I could tell it was a porn. And I was thinking, what kind of porn? And I was looking at it, I was processing it. Who would ever do that? And I looked at it very objectively, but not anything alarmed. I was like, okay, who's this? This is spam. But I was like, no, that's not spam. Who did you give access? And I looked, I go, this is not work. So this is different. I go, that's her. Can you imagine if I clicked on that? That was the difference between this individual is the most obscene. That's what we start calling her it. Who does that? Because you spent money for it. You spent money to do that to whoever I was going to click that on, or spyware. You guys need to be careful. These people think that they got you. And I know, and no offense to men, I know you guys would have clicked on it.
Yeah.
I know men are not conscious like that. They would have picked up the FaceTime.
See, men do stuff like that. So yes, we would have. Yes, indeed, we have a page out there. But I wanted everybody to listen to her because she is giving you an insight. She's giving you insight that's coming from a male and from a female that was just a friend.
Right.
And because I'm saying, coming from me, that almost is going to sound a little harsh speaking, that way towards a female. That you got some females out here that's on another level. Don't get me wrong. You got some crazy fools that are males out here as well. But usually with the male, again, it's going to be out in front of you so that you can see it. The sneaky one, see the female, overt female, a lot of times you just look at them like, oh, nah, and it's kind of like looking at you.
Yeah.
You were one and somebody saying this about you, they'd be like, nah, she's sweet, she's innocent. And that's the cover that makes it so easy a lot of times for people to be that way. And especially if the person is attractive. Because when the person is attractive, you're looking at the person like you don't even have to do something like that. Why are you even entertaining that craziness? Because you don't even have to do that. Like, why are you even going in that direction? But they do it. And one thing, and another thing that I've learned about narcissists is the things that you think that they will not do, they absolutely will do it. They will absolutely do. I mean, and everybody in this room has a crazy story that you're too ashamed to tell people about a narcissist. And if people saw your narcissist, they'd be like, nah, no way, no way.
And they're so scary because some of them hide behind their religion. Because mine was a Muslim.
Ooh,
she was Muslim, and and all her Muslimisms. I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone, you know. And that same day that she deleted my page, she was talking about with the other person we're interviewing about saging, and she's like, "Oh, I sage people when they come in the house." Really? You did not do a good job on yourself.
People,
or you're just the sage can't get through you because you're not a real person. You're just an animal, you know. And it's crazy. We didn't talk about the mirroring and the mimicking, which is very interesting.
Let's talk about it.
I think that a lot of I want to really answer 13 Babe Low. The fake pages. I had to block about on my, because I opened up a whole new podcast and took the content, because I had all the content and changed the name. I did a whole bunch of narcissism injuries in one day. When she deleted it, I was back and running. Okay. But I started noticing in my stories on that particular page, someone that had 0 followers, and I had to block 6 people like that. 0 followers, but were in my comments. And I was like, there you go, you know? And that's part of the behavior too. They want to do everything that's supposedly to delete you, but they really are so infatuated with who you are as an individual, because it's this twisted compliment. I don't know if you want to call it, but they want to be you. They want to be you. And going into the mimicking, I literally heard this individual through podcasts repeat verbatim sentences that I had, and I thought that was the most alarming thing that I've ever experienced in my whole entire life. I think if anything, that was the most disturbed that I heard or experienced was the verbatim sentences that I would say. And I was like, whoa. I noticed that everything I wore, she wanted to know where I bought it at. But it wasn't the compliment. It was, now that I look back, is that she wanted to buy what I bought because I was very particular, because it's my personality, of what type of textiles I would, and she thought that was very interesting. Oh, where did you know? Because now she could tell that story to somebody else. Oh, I like my textiles to be a little bit different because I'm trying to conserve energy and water. And it was the scariest shit I've ever experienced before. You know, it's just it was stuff like that. I got a mirror, the workout mirror.
Yeah.
I found out later, this is after she bought the mirror, and this is post deleting of the page.
Wow.
I found out later and said the same sentence. I said, you know, when I advertised mine, I said, hey, it's your girl Reece. She goes, hey, it's your girl, da 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 da. You remember, now I know where they got the content of the movie Single White Female. That I think the director and the producer, or the scriptwriter, had dealt with the narcissist because it was exactly like that.
When you look at old movies, a lot of times, see, now we're starting to see, oh, that was a narcissist too.
Right.
Listen, real quick, everybody. If you're just joining us or joined us late, I have a clinical psychologist in here tonight. This is my friend Reece. She has a podcast. Can you introduce yourself again for everybody, my girl?
Hi, yeah, sure, everybody. I am a mom, clinical psychologist, and a podcaster. Based off of COVID, and a podcaster. And I am here with like my new friend Hario. He was a guest on my show. And we spoke about narcissism, and narcissism was based on my experience with a past lover, and the most recent a friend narc. And it was the most craziest experience I've ever experienced in a face of this earth.
Find you.
And it makes great conversation, because I think my healing process, we could talk about healing, is that my healing process was based off, I'm a funny person anyway. And you laugh about it.
How can
what was that?
How can the people find you? How can they find
you? Yes. How can you? Okay. Well, my page for my podcast is the Anybody Podcast Show. So it's on Instagram. So please come over. And then what I'll do is on my link tree, it will take you to all my podcast shows on Spotify, all the platforms. But it's at the Anybody .podcast show, and I'll type it in here as well. What was that? Do you see it up there?
No, I'm saying, are you?
Oh, wait, it's on my name.
Okay. The link is
on there. Yeah, the link is there.
There we go. Yeah, so y'all are able to see now that this narcissism thing, it doesn't just discriminate for just your average Joe or Jane. This is a psychologist telling y'all about her experiences with narcissists. And I'm saying she's just the first one that I have dealt with that was willing to come on here and talk to y'all. I talk to psychologists all the time. I talk to doctors. I coach different doctors all the time that deal with these monsters. People, this isn't something that you can go to a place like we were talking about earlier in this conversation. You can't just go to school and learn the ropes about a narcissist. There's nobody there that's going to teach you about a narcissist. You have to actually go to hell and learn yourself. Because if you're dealing with a narcissist, you are in hell. There is no question. But that is really the only way you're really going to get solid answers about dealing with a narcissist and narcissism. You got to, when you're talking to people, you got to talk to people that have actually dealt with one, not heard about it and talked to a lot of people who've dealt with it. No. In order for you to know how they think and how they're programmed, how they are wired, in order for you to truly know that there is no cure, there is no fixing that thing.
Right.
You have to have dealt with one. Because I hear other people say things like, they have to go, they can be cured, but they have to be willing to go through therapy and go through this and go through that. And I'm thinking, man, what narcissist you dealt with that's going to do all of that? Huh? That was actually a narcissist. To admit
that.
Admit the truth.
To admit the truth, to expose themselves, to take that mask off.
Come on. Where is a narcissist out here that's going to do that?
Yeah.
No, that's not their MO. That's not what they do. That's not what they love. They love the attention, but the narcissist is the person that they want to do the crime, but they want you to pay for it. They don't want to do the time. They want you to do the time. You go tell the judge that you had something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the judge I didn't have nothing to do with it, and I'm gonna send you some money every month or so, you know. But yeah, I mean, dealing with this situation right now, and the beauty about the room that we're in is that we get to come together and exchange notes. We get together, come together and exchange stories. That to me is the most important part of this, because it says to everyone in the room, we are all normal, because that's the one thing that we have been struggling with. We're trying to go along to get along, because we're wondering, is this even possible for somebody to be this wretched?
Mm-hmm.
Is it humanly possible for somebody to be this dirty, conniving,
Mm-hmm.
cutthroat? I mean, you get to a place with a narc where you're just like, man, I give up. You got people who literally give up on life because they can't figure out what this thing with this narcissist is all about. What is this all about? You know, what does this person want? And you give and give, and you just keep on giving, because you're thinking at some point, the narc is going to just say, okay, I've dogged you enough. I've done you dirty enough. But a narcissist will never get to that point. The only thing that will make a narcissist stop is when you kill yourself, when you're gone, when you are totally destroyed. That's when they'll say, okay, see, that person, they ain't about nothing anyway. Look at them over there. You know, they're bum on the street, begging for change, you know? Or if you did commit suicide, which lots of people do,
Mm-hmm.
that's the narcs out right there. They're like, well, you know, I told y'all, that that he was crazy or she was crazy. I told y'all he was crazy. What y'all think I was dealing with? The narcissist wants to destroy you. They have no good thoughts, no good intentions. Everything that they do, everything they're saying it with a purpose. When they ask you how you're feeling, are you feeling okay? They're not concerned about your health. They don't care if you have COVID. They want to know if you're going to die. Mm-hmm. They want to know if what I'm doing, if the things that I'm taking you through, are they giving you hypertension? Is it giving you high blood pressure? Is it making you suicidal? They want to know if it's working, and they want to know from you. They want to know from you if their craziness is working on you. There is no winning with these monsters. Everything that we do, everything that we go through, it's just like, and then they leave you trying to figure out, what's wrong with me? What did I do? They do you so dirty. They literally leave you wondering, what did I do in this life to deserve something this wretched, something this shameful? Mm-hmm. I get to this place, and I'm saying that because I've been there. I absolutely have been there. Like, Lord, what did I do to get to this place? And you're just sitting back there and you're going along. You're not going along to get along most of the time. Most of the time you're going along because you're thinking at some point, this person is going to figure it out that I really care about them, that I love them, and they're going to stop. And they're never going to get to that point. They're never going to stop. They're never going to get to a place where they feel like, I'm going to treat you, I'm going to love you back the way you've loved me all of this time. I'm going to give you back everything that you've given to me. The only thing in that narc's heart is they want blood. They want to see somebody destroyed, and they want that person to be you. And the thing is if it doesn't work, if the narcissist is not successful at destroying you, that's what destroys them. See, it's a script that gets flipped on them, and that's why they go all out. That's why they do so much. That's why they do so much to you to try to destroy you, because they truly feel like if this doesn't work, then I'm not who I think I am. I'm not the evil entity that I'm showing you that I am. When they're not able to destroy you, that proves that you have the power over them and not the other way around. Pretty T. Smith, thank you so much. You sweetheart, you. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all. We getting up to the end of this thing here. We're gonna get a couple of more questions in here because the psychologist wanna go in with y'all tonight.
So wait, Gloria, after I went no contact in Gray Rock, my edges grew back. Ooh, child, I'm telling you, we need them edges. My stomach got flatter. What? Yes, girl. And my sleep pattern was restored. I am smiling again. I'm genuinely happy. Now here goes sending flowers. You are friggin' amazing, Gloria. You unlocked. You unlocked it. That is called self-love. That's self-love. You can't pay for that. You can't replicate that. That's something that they have they can't even conceptualize self-love.
They can't, and they don't. Peaches, what you say about the 30-day no narc challenge? So listen, Reece, we're doing a 30-day no narc challenge. And listen, and we're going to revisit it in 30 days on the 28th of this month.
Ooh.
And we're going to extend it again. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's how we getting down. We are because we're going into the holiday season right now. And when you go into the holiday season, you already know what that means for the nerds. They've been waiting for this time of the year all year. They can't wait to start destroying your Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's plans. Kiana, 30 days, no contact with your narc. That's the no narc challenge. 30 days. Okay. So it'll be 22. Okay. Go ahead. Miss T said, my husband did this to me. It took me 20 years, 3 kids later to find out. 20 years. 20 years, y'all. Y'all realize what 20 years is?
Mm-hmm.
That's a very big section of your life. And one of the things that has me so committed to this movement is that's the biggest thing that the narc can do to you is steal time. See, we can go and make money. You're going to make money all throughout your whole life. You will never duplicate time.
Right.
You're not going to get 1 extra second on the back end.
And you know what, Hario? That's what I thought with her was like, man, I'm wasting my time on what? I think I was the most annoyed by that. I was so annoyed by that alarmed about the mimicking. You used the word mimic on our podcast, but the mirroring technical term. But I was, alarmed by that. But just that time, you're just like, I allow this barfly to be a part of whatever she got from me, whatever, take it on to the next person. But it's just like, I allowed my time, which is so valuable to me, especially these times that we're living, right, folks? Like time is valuable. Things are changing, and the fact that you allow this thing, that's another name of a movie, thing, and it.
That's right, because
and you're just like, what? Well,
right.
I need you to, I want to send a bill. I want to send a bill. She may pay for it though, as a waste. She probably will pay for it because she's so crazy, you know, but it's like, it's
That's
everyone.
how they make you feel like
Yeah.
you want to send them a bill for wasting your time.
Yeah.
Like, look here, man. Ain't no, and that's the thing. That's the one thing that you cannot duplicate. You're not going to get that time back. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
for me, I just look at it as, man, if y'all don't hear anything else, look at the years. Look at these years that people are putting up on their screen. Look at the years that people have lost.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm saying that's time you're never going to get back. That's time you're never going to get back. Hey, listen, y'all. I want to thank y'all for coming out and hanging out with me and Reece. Hey, Reece, listen, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to put you on the spot since we got you up in here.
Sure.
And because I definitely want to have you back up in here again. You did.
I would love to. I would love to. All of you guys, there's 293 people right now. You guys are all.
Tell them where to go see you at.
You guys are all amazing. I'm going to tell them that I have to use the word. You guys are all fucking amazing. I didn't curse one time, but this is the time I'm going to do it. You guys are all fucking amazing people. You guys it's so much love here and so much sense of like power. And for you guys, again, I said this in the beginning, for you to share your story, I'm empowered myself. I'm truly empowered. So please come visit my side. I will lead you. God, what episode was that? When you go into first you need to go to my page, to my Instagram. You'll see it below my name. It's at the Anybody Podcast, the Anybody.podcast show. Please go on there. And then when you go look in my bio, you will see the link tree, and then you can click on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any of those things, and you will see Hario and I, our podcast that we have, you know. And it was cool. It was amazing. It was fun. It was in the moment. We didn't really plan anything, but let me tell you about that podcast. I got so many responses, Hario, from that, an inbox from friends that are social workers that actually one person sent me a video of her actually walking in at that very minute of her whole entire apartment ransacked. And she was like, I was so embarrassed. She goes, this was such a coincidence that you had this podcast, because my boyfriend is a narcissist, and he ran. So people are really experiencing it different levels, and it doesn't matter what profession you're in, because we love hard as human beings. We come from love. So that's all we know. So just know that you're not doing anything wrong. You're doing this is who we are. We're made up that way. But we need to make some hard decisions, right? And we need to be very responsible and accountable for our energy and our time. And that means people got to go. It's cutting season. We're not going into 2021 like this, y'all, anymore. We're not. Remember that. You hear the last thing is we're not going to 2021 with the succubus. These people.
I like that.
We're not happening. It's not happening. It's cutting season.
She said, we're gonna push that. We're gonna push that agenda next month, because we are not going into 2021 with this craziness. Nah. If any of y'all creeping in there with them fools, you're gonna be creeping. You're gonna be hiding it, because we are not having it next year. We did the craziness this year. We did it. But this year, we're cutting it out.
Yeah.
Okay. That's right, y'all. That's right. Miss Reece is coming back to hang out with us again. As a matter of fact, we might bring her back in here next week for y'all.
I'm here, y'all. I'm down for I'm all about this. So yes.
Indeed. Yeah. Hey, listen, it's a beautiful motivational Monday. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for coming and hanging out and helping out. I love the way y'all help each other. Thanks, Peaches. Appreciate you. I'm just loving just all of this energy, this positive energy that everybody keeps going. And we just going to keep on building on positive energy, self-love. And that's how you start to love, truly loving other people, when you have self-love. Okay? Thank you. I love you. I appreciate every last one of you. Every last one of you. I'm going to see y'all Wednesday night. We're going to love bomb. We're going to act a fool on Wednesday night.
Live strong, y'all. Live strong. I got a client after this. So this is my parting words. Live strong. Let's connect on the other side too. Perhaps maybe we could do just a narc women,
there you go,
support system on my end. We'll do a podcast style, y'all. You know I'm down, because I am the narcissist worst nightmare.
We're going to stop that. Y'all cannot leave the fellas out with all of these narc offs, okay? All right, y'all. Thanks and good night.